My husband said coldly, "You'll be okay going to the hospital alone, right?" I replied, "I swear I'll make your life a nightmare. My name is Emma, and I'm currently 9 months pregnant. It's my first time experiencing childbirth, so while I'm filled with worry, I'm also incredibly grateful to soon welcome a new life into our family." My husband Jack works in finance and has weekends off, but he rarely offers any support with household chores or shopping. This is mainly because he often goes back to visit his parents every weekend. Jack has a close bond with his family, and since their home is nearby, he ends up spending almost every weekend there without a specific reason. Since I became pregnant, I've been careful about lifting heavy things for my daily routine, especially when buying items like bags of flour, and understanding friends often help out. My day usually starts early, making breakfast for Jack before seeing him off to work. After that, I clean up the house, do the laundry, and go out shopping if needed. Once I'm back, I start preparing dinner. Only after completing these tasks do I get some time to rest. After taking leave from work, I took up blogging. Every day, I write a journal, adding pictures of things like meals, blue skies, and flowers blooming in the garden. Many friends leave comments, and this small joy has become a daily ritual for me. One evening, as I was preparing dinner, my husband returned home as usual. He tossed his bag and jacket on the sofa carelessly, and I picked them up, hanging them on the coat rack. "Welcome back, Jack. I made spaghetti for dinner." "I'm taking a shower," he said flatly and headed straight to the bathroom. It's been 3 years since we got married, and I've rarely seen any kindness or consideration from him. Sometimes I wonder if this is what marriage is supposed to be like, but I've come to accept it. When Jack returned in his pajamas, I handed him a glass of juice. "Where's the beer?" he asked, glancing at the bar. "Oh, sorry, I forgot to buy it today. I'll get some tomorrow." "Seriously, go to the store now." His tone changed instantly, and anger was evident in his voice. I was annoyed. Why was he asking his pregnant wife to do this? If you want it so badly, why don't you go get it yourself? It's hard for me to move around with this big belly. At that, he grew angrier and started yelling. "You're the one who forgot to buy it. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you get special treatment." My mother always said it's important to keep active during pregnancy. Knowing he doesn't calm down easily when mad, I reluctantly decided to go to the store. When I arrived, I ran into Hannah, a neighbor. "Oh, Hannah, good evening." "Evening, Emma. Forgot to buy something." "Yeah, I ran out of sauce." Hannah's cheerful voice lifted my spirits a bit. Jack really wanted beer, so I had to come and get it. Why didn't he just come himself? That's what I said, but it didn't get through to him. "Sounds like you're having a rough time, Emma." After walking together for a while, Hannah and I parted ways at the corner. When I got home, Jack was sprawled out on the sofa watching TV, not having even cleaned up after dinner. "What took you so long? What were you messing around for? Give me the beer." Jack's harsh words made my heart ache, but I handed him the beer silently and began tidying up the kitchen. How could he say such things, especially when I'm pregnant? I wanted to argue, but I knew it would lead to another fight, so I stayed quiet. I ate dinner, took a bath, and went to bed. The next morning, Jack acted as if nothing had happened. It seems like he's the type to forget things after sleeping, but I couldn't forget his harsh words. I consciously ignored him. What's with the attitude? Don't take it out on me. I'm heading to work, so try to be a little more considerate. You know the value of gratitude, right? I felt like shouting that he should apply that to himself, but I sighed deeply instead. "Be careful, and I want dinner tonight. See you." With no further explanation, Jack left. I did my usual chores and went shopping. Since Jack said he wouldn't be home for dinner, I made a light meal for myself. But just as I was about to eat, I heard Jack's unexpected return. I rushed to the entrance. "I'm back, but you said you wouldn't need dinner." "Yeah, but plans changed. I'm hungry. Do you have food? I only made enough for me today." Jack's face twisted with anger. Didn't you even think I might come back? This is unbelievable." He went to the dining table, saw the meal, and his expression darkened. "What's this supposed to be? I wonder if you're even doing your duties as a wife. Don't waste the money I work for." I quickly prepared something for him, trying to keep him from getting angrier. "Maybe you should take some cooking lessons from my mom. Your cooking's lacking." Again, with the comparisons to his mother. Doesn't he realize how hurtful those words are? "I can't eat this. Go get something." My heart sank even more. "I'm already ready for bed. Can't you go?" "Forget it. First, you forgot the beer. Then you don't make dinner. It's frustrating. I'm going to my parents' place." He stormed out, and alone in the house, I felt a strange sense of relief. The next morning, I got a call from his mother, who scolded me for not serving Jack properly. She called it moral harassment. I explained, but she didn't listen, so I apologized. After the call, my mood sank. Since Jack wasn't home, I decided to have a late brunch. But I knew Jack would return, and my anxiety grew. I decided to make a special dinner, shopping with care and even adding his favorite beer to the cart. I shortened my blog time to cook. The table was set beautifully, like for a special occasion. With this, he should be satisfied. I waited, but he didn't show. I tried calling, but no answer. An hour passed, then 2. Finally, he came back, drunk. "I'm home." Rushing to the entrance, I found Jack on the floor. "What happened? Are you okay?" "Too loud." "Go away," he spat out. I tried to help, but he shoved me off. "Don't touch me. How ugly. To think you're my wife." Those words cut deep. Did he not see me as family anymore? Tears filled my eyes. All my effort, for nothing. I ate alone, drowning in loneliness. The next morning, Jack acted like nothing was wrong. "My head hurts. Why did you leave me on the floor? You lay there yourself. It's not my fault." "Aren't you my wife? Take care of me." Why does he always blame me? If you weren't going to eat at home, you could have at least let me know. I made a nice meal and called multiple times. Why didn't you answer? My party got rescheduled. Do I have to report everything? Every word cooled my heart more. Being with you lately is so unpleasant and boring. Divorce started to seem like an option. Our baby's due soon. Though I've heard about labor pains, my excitement outweighs the fear. Neighbors often say it's just a bit longer. One day, Jack made a suggestion. "Want to go on a family trip?" I was shocked. "Really?" "Yes, with my parents." I was stunned. "Why?" "I'm about to give birth. Just because you're pregnant doesn't mean you're sick." His parents are inviting us. I was speechless. "But if something happens, it'll be fine. Everything's set. We'll go for 2 nights next week." But next week is my due date. "Do as you're told." He left. Feeling desperate, I sought advice from a friend who agreed it was too much. But the trip day arrived. "Actually, I'm not well. Rest in the car. You'll be fine." We loaded the car. "Is this okay?" I noticed warmth on my feet. My water broke. "Jack, I think my water broke. Take me to the hospital." Jack's eyes widened. "You serious?" "Yes, now." While I tried to clean up, he suddenly opened the door. "What are you doing?" "Get out. You'll mess up the car." Shocked, I pleaded, but he slapped me and dragged me out. "I can't believe this. We were going on a trip." "Go to the hospital alone." He drove off, leaving me. Feeling overwhelmed, I dialed for an ambulance when Hannah approached. "Emma, are you okay?" Seeing my state, she arranged a special taxi, comforting me. Grateful, tears streamed down my face. I arrived safely, thanks to her help. On the way, I made a silent vow, I'll make him pay for this. Even as the labor pains grew, Hannah held my hand. She called my parents, who soon arrived, deeply worried. "There's something I want to discuss," Hannah whispered, and they left the room. My pain intensified, and my phone vibrated. "Who is it?" My parents answered, frowning. "It's Jack." I took the call. "Help me." But I couldn't talk and hung up. Despite my parents turning off my phone, he kept messaging. After some time, I finally heard my baby's cry. Exhausted, I saw my parents and Hannah smiling warmly before I closed my eyes to rest. When I woke up, my parents were beside me. "Are you okay?" my mother asked. Still feeling tired, I noticed Hannah was gone. Responding to my look, my mother said she left earlier. Grateful, I promised to thank her after being discharged. Checking my phone, I saw countless missed calls from Jack. But I felt no hope. One friend visited, and I shared what happened. Shocked, she said, "He deserves to be punished." Later, my parents asked, "What's your plan?" I told them I was considering divorce. They supported me. After discharge, I stayed at my parents' home. Jack visited, but the hospital staff didn't let him in. The next day, Hannah came, holding a fruit basket. "You seem better, but don't overdo it," she said. "Thank you for everything." I expressed my gratitude. Hannah laughed. "What matters is you and the baby are healthy." I bowed deeply. "I'll visit soon to thank you." Hannah chuckled. "My husband's furious. I'm sorry for dragging you into this mess," I said. "Don't worry, you owe me," she teased. I realized Hannah's true nature. She was the wife of Jack's company's CEO. Jack never knew. Hannah had suggested talking to her husband, but I declined, not wanting to trouble her. But this incident pushed her to act. I was overwhelmed by her support. Jack kept messaging, but I ignored him. Thinking of divorce, I felt clear-headed. Preparing to leave, a friend showed me a viral video. It was of Jack yelling at me in the car. His details, even his company, were exposed. Now he's under heavy criticism online. Jack made excuses like, "I had a travel commitment." His parents, too, faced backlash. My phone rang. It was my mother-in-law. "Answer and tell her off," my friend urged, but I didn't have the energy. Calls from Jack, his father, and mother filled my log. Even hospital staff noticed and supported me. As my discharge approached, I worried they might be outside. "Don't worry," my parents reassured. Yet I still felt uneasy for my baby's safety. But that worry vanished when men in black suits surrounded me. One opened the car door gently. "Don't worry, we're here on her request." My parents smiled. "See? Nothing to worry about." I got in the car smoothly, Jack and his parents helpless against the bodyguards. I felt immense gratitude for Hannah. My parents agreed, saying, "We must repay her kindness." I started a new chapter, but Jack and his family kept contacting us. I mailed the divorce papers, but they didn't respond. One day, my in-laws called. My father answered, and they arrogantly said, "She's family, so she shouldn't complain." My father retorted, and they hung up. We decided to consult a lawyer, and he agreed to help. When he contacted Jack, my husband was initially defiant, but soon caved. "We'll handle it ourselves." The lawyer calmly replied, "This is on Emma's request." Jack fell silent. Mention of court made him panic. "I don't care about the kid. No need for support." My lawyer explained the legalities, but Jack refused to understand. "We'll see you in court," he said. His parents panicked and agreed. Shocked, I realized how foolish I'd been to marry him. Hannah laughed. "How about garnishing his retirement?" Overwhelmed by her insight, I got a call from my lawyer. Jack wanted to apologize in person. We agreed to a call with the lawyer present. "Apologize and I'll forgive you," he demanded. "The house is a mess. All your fault." Calmly, I said, "Just so you know, this is recorded." "Wait, I was joking. Let's start over." I hung up. Handing the recording to the lawyer, I asked, "Can this be used?" He sighed. "He's incorrigible." My parents agreed. At some point, I realized I was enjoying this. Divorce wrapped up quickly. Child support and property were settled. Thanks to Hannah's husband, Jack was fired. Unable to pay his loans, he returned home, struggling with part-time jobs. His parents faced rumors and lived in unease. Surprisingly, social backlash seemed harsher than legal punishment. With matters settled, my baby and I visited Hannah's home. She and her husband doted on my baby, making us feel welcomed. Our families became close. Hannah's son was my age, and our relationship unexpectedly blossomed. A few years later, I realized I might actually become part of Hannah's family after all. Life truly is unpredictable. My child, my new life with the support of Hannah's family gave me a renewed sense of purpose. Watching my child grow up in a healthy, loving environment filled me with hope and joy. As life took unexpected turns, I realized that sometimes endings are just new beginnings in disguise. It wasn't just about escaping an abusive relationship. It was about rediscovering myself, finding my inner strength, and creating a life filled with love, laughter, and lasting happiness. Truly, life is unpredictable.